Hello everyone, good day. I am Vanessa Azores. I'm going to continue the item 121 to 150. So let's start from item number 121. From an overview of education, who is at the center of the educational system? A. The parents in the community. B. The Filipino child. C. The school administrators. Or letter D. The professional teachers. The clue word here is the center of educational system. So what do you think is the correct answer? Let us see. Okay, the correct answer for item number 121 is the Filipino child. Why the other options are incorrect? Because the parents and the community, they are considered stakeholders and partners in the education of the child, while the school administrators are responsible for the management and leadership of educational institutions. The professional teachers, they are the central figures in delivering education. They facilitate learning, design instructional strategies, and assess students' progress. So the correct answer is letter B. Next, for item 122, on the teacher as a culture catalyst, which shows the need for staying grounded by listening to people who can benefit from change. A. Feedback. B. Modeling. C. Collaboration. Or letter D. Engagement. What do you think is the correct answer? Okay, the correct answer for item 122 is letter D. Engagement. So why engagement? Because it suggests active and sustained interaction and involvement with the community or learners. And why the other options are incorrect? Because feedback involves listening. It is more reactive, gathering responses after something has been done. And modeling, it is about setting an example through behavior. It's one way others observe you, but it doesn't involve listening or being influenced by others. And for collaboration, it involves working with others toward a common goal. So the correct answer is letter D, engagement. Next, for 123, a group of social science teachers were asked to develop a problem-centered curriculum. What is or features are expected of their curriculum design? A. Heavy reliance on ICT. B. Use of project-based and problem-based learning. C. Teacher dominance of teacher throughout the period, or letter D for delivery of teacher lectures. The clue word here is develop a problem-centered curriculum. So what do you think is the answer for 123? Okay, the correct answer for 123 is letter B. Use of project-based and problem-based learning, because this is directly aligned with the philosophy of problem-centered curriculum, which emphasizes real-life problems, inquiry, critical thinking, and active student engagement. So why the other options are incorrect? For letter A, while technology can support learning, ICT is not a core feature of a problem-centered curriculum. It might be used as a tool, but it's not essential to the design itself. So for letter C, a problem-centered curriculum values students' participation, collaboration, and exploration. Teacher dominance contradicts this approach. And for letter D, similar to letter C, this emphasizes a traditional approach, while a problem-centered curriculum is a student-centered, not lecture-head. For 124, when she teaches math, teacher Rosita develops her lesson deductively. Which statement is true? A. Involves the learners as much as She can end the learning process. Letter B begins her lesson with the rule or principle, then gives example. Letter C checks on learning now and then as she teaches. Or letter D emphasizes only the most essential. The clue here is lesson deductively. So what do you think is the answer for 124? Okay, the correct answer for number 124 is letter B. Begins her lesson with the rule or principle, then gives example. Why? Because this is the definition of deductive teaching. And why the other options are incorrect? Because letter A, um, this is more characteristic of inductive student-centered approach. And for letter C, while this is a good teaching practice, it's not specific to deductive teaching. And for letter D, again, this is general teaching guideline, but not specific to the deductive method. So the correct answer is letter B. For 125, next. Okay, for item 125, in discussing a lesson on procedural knowledge in English class, Mr. Cruz invited Miss Jeanette, a TLA teacher. Mr. Cruz focused on the skills students need to develop, while Miss Jeanette demonstrated the process of baking a cake as a springboard. What teaching strategy is manifested in the integration? Okay, letter A, team teaching. Letter B, peer teaching. Letter C, team teaching. And letter D, pair teaching. So, what do you think is the answer for 125? Okay, the correct answer for number 125 is pair teaching. Because it is a form of teaching but often refers to two teachers from different disciplines or subjects collaborating in a shared but complementary role. One teacher or Mr. Cruz leads the main lesson, while the other, Miss Jeanette, provides support or related component. So the correct answer here is letter D. Why the other options are incorrect? So for letter A, it involves two or more teachers planning, teaching, and assessing a lesson together, often in the same classroom at the same time. For letter B, this usually involves students teaching fellow students, not teachers teaching with other teachers. And for letter C, this is a curriculum design approach where different subjects are taught around a common theme. So the correct answer here is letter D, pair teaching. And next item for 126, you want to apply the message of Edgar Dale's cone of experience in your teaching. Which will you do? A. Make use of possible combination of the elements of Edgar Dale's cone of experience. Letter B. Make the students direct their own learning. Letter C. Never lecture. Or letter D. Use only direct experiences for real learning. And the clue here is Edgar Dale's cone of experience. So what do you think is the answer for 126? Okay, the correct answer for 126 is letter A. Make use of possible combination of the elements of Edgar Dale's cone of experience. So let us define, let me give you a short background about Edgar Dale's cone of experience. So, Edgar Dale's cone of experience is a visual model that represents types of learning experiences ranging from abstract to concrete. It encourages using a variety of learning experiences from from verbal symbols like lectures to direct hands-on experience to make learning more effective and meaningful. So letter A is the answer because this reflects Dale's philosophy. He advocated for a balanced, appropriate use of various teaching strategies, combining concrete and abstract experiences. So why the other options are incorrect? For letter B, uh, While students' agency is important, this is not the core message of Dale's cone, to be specific and not the main idea. For letter C, Dale never said to eliminate lectures. He only pointed out that purely abstract methods are less effective if used alone. And for letter D, direct experience is valuable, but Dale did not suggest using it exclusively. All levels of experience have a role depending on the context. So the correct answer is letter A. Next, for item 127, in order to reduce issues on assessment biases, teachers need to prepare rubrics for authentic assessment. However, the following standards have to be set in mind. So let us find out what are these standards for authentic assessment. For Roman numeral number one, rubrics must be prescripted of the extent of the highest and lowest ratings to be given to the learners. For number two, rubrics must include qualitative index to balance the measurement. For number three, rubrics must be utilized by at least three evaluators or raters to refrain from biases scoring scoring. And for Roman numeral number four, rubrics must be crafted with good choice of words and clear descriptions and competencies to be measured. So let us find out the standards of authentic assessment. So what do you think is the answer for number 127? Okay, that letter C. All of the mentioned above are the authentic assessment standards. So let's move on to 128. For item 128, teaching internship is synonymous with 1. Practicum, 2. Field practice, and for Roman numeral number 3 on the job training, and for number 4, apprenticeship of Republic Act 7796. Okay, let's start with letter A, 1, 3, and 4, Roman numeral 1, 3, and 4. For letter B, Roman numeral 2 and 4. And for letter C, Roman numeral number 1 and 2. And for letter D, Roman numeral 1, 2, and 3. So what do you think is the answer? Okay, the correct answer is letter D. Letter D. This is the most direct synonym of teaching internship. It's structured, supervised experience where pre-service teachers practice in real classroom. For number two, Roman numeral number two, field practice. Also correct, like practicum, it refers to hands-on experience in actual teaching environments. And for number three, on the job training, this is also correct because generally used in vocational and technical education, but it can also be applied to real workplace training, like teaching internships, especially in broader context. The for number Roman numeral number 4, this is incorrect. This is not included on the internship is synonymous with. So for item number 29, which is not a characteristic of analytic learners. A. Learners to hold to part. B. Enjoys memorizing. Letter C. Sequences objects in order. Or letter D. Works on details. So what do you think is the answer? Letter D. Works on the details. I guess there are some errors in this item. The correct answer here is letter B. Enjoy memorizing. Sorry for the error, but the correct answer is letter B. So why letter B is the answer? It is because while analytic learners may use memorization, enjoying it is not a defining trait. Analytic learners focus on understanding and reasoning, not just rote recall. Memorization is more associated with surface level learning, not the deep processing analytic learners prefer. And for item number 104, I mean, for option letter A, it is incorrect because it is not it is not analytic, but this is a characteristic of global or holistic learners, not analytic ones. Analytic learners go from part to whole. It could be also raw, incorrect, but letter B is more accurate in in correct is in for item number 29. It is not a characteristic of analytic learner. So for letter C, it is very much an analytic trait because they are orderly and logical. And for letter D, this is analytic because it absolutely a defining trait of analytic learners. They thrive on details, specifics, and step-by-step processing. And for item number 130, in the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013, what are addressed by mention of madrasa curriculum who are given attention for inclusive education. The clue word here is madrasa curriculum. And for attention for inclusive education. So letter A, Aitas children in Zambales. Letter B, Mindanao children. Or letter C, Muslim children. Or letter D, Bajau children in Zamboanga. So what do you think is the answer for 130? Okay, the correct answer for 130 is letter C, the Muslim children. Why the Muslim children? Because the madrasa curriculum refers specifically to the educational program designed for Muslim learners integrating Islamic values and Arabic language into the basic education system. So why not the other options are why the other options are incorrect? So for letter A, uh, these are indigenous people, but they are not the focus of madrasa curriculum. And for letter B, while many Muslim learners in Mindanao, not all Mindanao children are Muslim. So this option is too broad. And for letter D, Bajau children in Zamboanga. Bajau are distinct ethno-linguistic group. While some may be Muslim, the madrasa curriculum is not designed specifically for them. So the correct answer is letter C, Muslim children. And for item 131, you are planning to put a science exhibit considering efficiency and active participation of audience, which is most effective. So the clue word here is efficiency and active participation of audience. So letter A, albums, B, interactive models, C, still pictures, or letter D, video presentation. So what do you think is the correct answer? Okay, the correct answer for this item is interactive models because inside the exhibit, the goal is often to engage the audience actively, promote hands-on learning, and make complex concepts more tangible. So, interactive models, it is highly engaging. The audience can manipulate, experiment, and observe cause and effect. Okay. Why other options are incorrect? For letter A, albums, these are static and passive. They can be informative but do not encourage interaction on hands-on learning. For letter C, these are visual aids but offer no interactivity, useful as support material but not engaging in enough for active participation. And for letter D, videos can be engaging but they are still passive form of learning. They may capture attention but don't allow real-time interaction or exploration. So the correct answer is letter B, interactive models. And for item 132, here are here is a statement in true or false type of test. A mother is a great person in the world who is willing to sacrifice herself and serve her beloved child whom she considers her greatest treasure. As such, a student vehemently reacted for being marked wrong in her answer, which was false. She then challenged everyone and expressed her argument based on her context that she was adopted by a family who found her in a box at the doorstep of the house when she was just a baby, which assessment principle was violated in the given item. Okay, the correct answer here is letter C. It is very obvious. Uh, why letter C? It is because for letters C, wait, um, okay, the correct answer is letter C, tricky statement. And why other options are incorrect? For letter A, the problem is the tricky and emotionally charged wording, not just universality. For letter B, a trivial item asks about unimportant or insignificant details. This statement deals with a serious emotional theme. And for letter D, focus is in student's background, not the design flaw of the test item itself. So the correct answer is letter C. And for item 133, in delivering the essential lesson, the facilitator may use either a teacher's video lecture or available videos that can be downloaded from an online source. So, what is the difference between the teacher's video lecture and downloaded video lecture? A. The teacher's video lecture is lesser attractive than the downloadable video lecture. And for letter B, the teacher's video is synchronous while downloaded video is asynchronous. And for letter C, the teacher's video lecture is usually longer than the downloaded video lecture. And for letter D, the teacher's video lecture is more contextualized but downloaded video lecture is more structured and organized. So what do you think is the answer for 133? Okay, the correct answer for 133 is letter D. The teacher's video lecture is more contextualized, but downloaded video lecture is more structured and organized because a teacher's video lecture is often tailor-made of a specific group of students addressing their curriculum level and local context. It may include local examples, mother tongue languages, cues, or references to classroom-specific experiences, making it contextualized. On the other hand, downloaded videos are usually produced by educational publishers or platforms for general public use. Why other options are incorrect? And for letter A, it is a subjective quality. While downloaded videos may use professional editing, animations, or graphics, this is not universally make them more attractive. And for letter B, it is incorrect because the question refers to video lecture which are typically pre-recorded. Both teachers' video lectures and downloaded videos are most often asynchronous, meaning students can watch them anytime. And for letter C, this is incorrect because there is no consistent evidence that teacher-made videos are always longer. So the correct answer is letter D. And for item 134, it is a teaching strategy involving learners of varying levels to work together to solve and or accomplish a given task. A. Cooperative learning. Letter B. Peer tutoring. Letter C. Descriptive modeling. Or letter D. Questioning strategy. So what do you think is the answer for 134? Okay, the correct answer here is cooperative learning. Why cooperative learning? Because it is a teaching strategy in which students of diverse skills levels work together in small groups to accomplish a shared task or learning goal. Why other options are incorrect? For letter B, it is one-on-one or small group but not necessarily collaborative in the same way as cooperative learning. And for letter C, teaching method where the teacher demonstrates or models or a process or behavior. And for letter D, it is a form of classroom interaction but not a strategy involving students working together to accomplish tasks. And for item 135, the school keeps on establishing partnership and collaboration with local government and the community towards sustainable development. What is the rationale behind this action? A. It increases social support to attain desired learning outcome. Letter B. change institutional culture, or letter C, get all schools to continuously improve, or letter D, enable teachers to further enhance their contributions to learning outcomes. So what do you think is the answer for item 135? Okay, the correct answer here is letter A because building experience partnerships with local government and the community is a clear effort to strengthen support systems that influence education and sustainable development. Why other options are incorrect? For letter B, partnership can influence school culture. This is not the primary goal of the collaborating with external stakeholders for sustainable development. For letter C, uh, continuous improvement is a broad and system-wide goal. This item specifically refers to a particular school's initiative in building community partnerships. And for letter D, this is incorrect because the initiative focuses on community and government engagement, not specifically on teacher development or instructional improvement. So the correct answer is letter A. And for item 136, even at an early childhood stage, what is known as the thinking process, wherein young learners realize their own limitations and mistakes such that they are try to adjust in simplistic ways. A. Metacognition. B. Correlation. Letter C. Perception. Or letter D. Intuition. So the correct answer here is letter A. Why letter A? Because it metacognition is the awareness and understanding of one's own thinking processes and includes self-reflection, recognizing mistakes or limitations, making adjustments to thinking or behavior, and planning and monitoring one's learning. So the correct answer is metacognition. Why other options are incorrect? For letter B, it refers to a statistical or relational concept, the relationship between two variables. And for letter C, this refers how we sense, interpret the world through sight, sound, touch, and etc. While importantly learning, perception is not about reflecting on one's own thoughts or mistakes. Intuition is knowing or sensing something without conscious reasoning. So the correct answer is letter A. And for item 137, to address diversity of learners, what competency must the teacher display? A. Problem-based instruction. Letter B. Interactive learning method. Letter C. Project-based activities. Or letter D. Differentiated learning. So what do you think is the answer here? Okay, the correct answer is letter D. Why letter D? Because differentiated learning is essential teaching competency required to effectively address learner diversity in educational setting. So why other options are incorrect? For letter A, teaching strategy focus on real-world problem solving. And for letter B, it encourages participation and engagement. It's a good strategy but not specifically targeted at managing differences in learners' needs. And for letter C, it helps with collaboration, creativity, and application of knowledge. So the answer is letter D, differentiated learning. And for item number 138, on learning skills in the 21st century, which is the focus of making up new ideas and doing new things. So, A. Collaboration. B. Creativity and innovation. Letter C. Critical thinking and problem solving. Or letter D. Communication. So, what do you think is the answer for for 138? Okay, the correct answer is creativity and innovation. Why is this the answer? Because creativity and innovations are among the core 21st century learning skills, often referred to as part of the four C's: critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. This competency focuses on generating original ideas, designing new approaches, producing innovative solutions, taking risk, and experimenting. So why the other options are incorrect? For letter A, it focuses on teamwork and cooperation, but not creating new ideas. For letter C, it involves analyzing, evaluating, and making reasoned judgments. For letter D, it focuses on expressing thoughts clearly and listening to others. The correct answer is letter B. And for item 139, if you want your students to develop reading comprehension and learning strategies, which one should you employ? A. Reciprocal teaching. B. Cooperative learning. C. Peer tutoring. Or letter D. Mastery learning. So what do you think is the answer for this item? Okay, the correct answer is letter A, reciprocal teaching. It is because it is a research-based instructional strategy specifically designed to improve reading comprehension. It involves students taking on the role of teacher in small group reading sessions and using four case strategies: the predicting, questioning, clarifying, and summarizing. Why other options are incorrect? For letter B, this is general instructional strategy where students work together in small groups to complete tasks. For letter C, it involves students helping each other learn, often with a more knowledgeable peer guiding and less knowledgeable one. And for letter D, focuses on ensuring students achieve a high level of understanding before moving on to the next concepts. So the answer is letter A. And for item 140, in the light of the modern concept of teaching, which is the characteristic of effective teaching? A. Pouring, pouring information to the learners. B. Allowing learners to learn on their own. C. Developing abilities to address the future. Or letter D. Removing the physical presence of the teacher. So what do you think is the answer for this item? Okay, the correct answer is letter B. Because under the modern concept of teaching, the teacher is no longer the sole source of knowledge, but rather a facilitator or of learning. In this framework, students are encouraged to take active responsibility for their learning, explore and construct knowledge on their own, develop independent learning skills. So why other options are incorrect? For letter A, this is traditional teacher-centered approach. It encourages rote memorization and not deep understanding or critical thinking. For, for letter C, while this is a valuable goal, it is broad and idealistic. It does not specifically describe a teaching characteristic but rather a long-term outcome. And for letter D, it is incorrect because whether in person or virtual, the teacher's presence and support are essential. Removing the teacher entirely undermines the guided learning process, especially for learners who still need structure. So the correct answer is letter B. And for item 141, teacher A discovered that these pupils are very good in dramatizing. Which tool must have helped him discover his pupils' strengths? A. Portfolio assessment. B. Performance test. Letter C. Journal entry. Or letter D. Paper and pencil test. So the correct answer here is letter B, performance test. Why letter B? Because uh, a performance test is authentic assessment tool that requires students to demonstrate skills or apply knowledge in real world or simulated context. So why other options are incorrect? For letter A, collection of students' work over time, which shows growth, achievement, and reflection. For letter C, journals are reflective tools where students write about their thoughts and experiences. And for letter D, these are traditional assessments like multiple choice, short answer that measure knowledge and writing, not practical performance. The correct answer is letter B, performance test. And for item 142, which test items in the highest level of Bloom's taxonomy of objectives. The highest one. A. Explain how a tree functions in relation to the ecosystem. Letter B. Explain how trees receive nutrients. Letter C. Rate three different methods of controlling tree growth. Or letter D. Write a paragraph that observes coherence, unity, and variety. So what do you think is the answer here? Okay, letter D is the correct answer. Okay, let me give you a short background about Bloom's taxonomy objectives. So, Bloom's taxonomy, the highest levels of cognitive processes are remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. For creating level, it is the highest order skill where learners produce original work. So the correct answer is letter D. Why other options are incorrect? For letter A, this is the understanding level. It involves interpreting or explaining relationships, but not creating or evaluating. And for letter B, also falls under understanding, where students demonstrate comprehension of processes or ideas. And for letter C, this is not correct because this belongs to the evaluating level, which is high but still below creating. So the correct answer is letter D. And for item 143, which must be present for self-evaluation or succeed? A. Consensus between teacher and student regarding evaluation results. Letter B. Teacher's approval of self-evaluation results. Letter C. Teacher's monitoring of self-evaluation process. Or letter D. Students' intrinsic motivation to learn. So what do you think is the answer? Okay, the correct answer here is letter, letter D. Students' intrinsic motivation to learn. Because self-evaluation is reflective practice where students assess their own learning progress, strengths, and areas of improvement. So why other options are incorrect? For letter A, while it may be helpful for feedback and goal setting, consensus is not requirement for the success of the self-evaluation itself. For letter B, teacher's evaluation is a learner-centered and its value lies in the student's reflection, not the teacher's approval. So for letter C, this is incorrect because monitoring can support accountability, but over-monitoring can hinder authenticity. So the success of self-evaluation lies in student ownership, not teacher control. So letter D is the correct answer. And for item 144, the Early Childhood Care Development or DCC or ECCD Act provides for the promotion of the rights of children for survival and development. Which of the following statement is the following is which of the following statement is not among its objectives? So let us find which of the statements is not part of the objective of the early childhood care and development. So for letter A, enhance the role parents as the primary caregivers and educators of their children from birth onward. Letter B, facilitate small transition from care and education provided at home to community or school-based setting and primary schools. Letter C, assess the LGUs in the endeavor to prepare the child for adulthood. And letter D, enhance the physical, social, and emotional, cognitive, and psychological, spiritual, and language development of young children. So one of the options, the it's letter C is not part of the objective of the ECCD because Early Childhood Care Development Act of 2000, Republic Act of 18980 in the Philippines is designed to promote the rights and welfare of young children 0 to 6 years old. Its goals are focused in the early stages development, particularly in nurturing environments that support holistic growth. So the All of the item A, B, and D are the objectives of the ECCD, and letter C is not part of it. So the correct answer is letter C. And for 145, Bernadette enjoyed the roller coaster when they went to Enchanted Kingdom. Just at the sight of a roller coaster, she gets excited, which theory explains Bernadette's behavior. A. Operant conditioning, letter B. Attribution theory, or letter C. Pavlovian conditioning, or letter D. Social learning theory. So what do you think is the answer for this item? So the correct answer here is letter C, Pavlovian conditioning, because Bernadette's reaction, feeling excited just by seeing the roller coaster, is a classical example of Pavlovian classical conditioning, which involves associating not neutral stimulus with an emotional or physiological response. Why other options are incorrect? Because for letter A, focus is on learning through rewards and punishments. For letter B, deals with how people explain causes of behavior and events. For letter D, involves learning through observation and imitation of others. And for item 146, which is underlying assumption of the social cognitive theory? A, people are social by nature. B, people learn by observing others. Letter C, people learn by trial and error. Or letter D, people learn by association. So what do you think is the answer for 146? Okay, the correct answer here is letter B. People learn by observing others because social cognitive theory developed by Albert Bandura emphasizes the importance of observational learning, imitation, and modeling. So, according to this theory, much of what people learn is acquired by watching others. So, why the other options are incorrect? Because letter A, this is generally true, but it's broad and sociological assumption, not a core foundation of social cognitive theory. And for letter C, this applies more on behaviorism and operant conditioning by Skinner. And for letter D, this is not a foundation of classical or Pavlovian conditioning, not social cognitive theory. This is the foundation of classical Pavlovian. So the correct answer is letter B. And for item 147, Piagetian tasks state that thinking becomes more logical and abstract as children reach the formal operation stage. What is an educational implication of this finding? So the correct answer here is letter A, because according to John Piaget, cognitive development theory, the formal operational stage typically begins at 11 or to 12 and continues in adulthood. The other options are incorrect. And for item 148, the class was asked to share their insights about the poem. The ability to come up with an insight stems from the ability to A. Comprehend the subject that is being studied. B. Analyze the parts of a whole. C. Evaluate the worthiness of a thing. Or letter D. Relate and organize things and ideas. So the answer here is letter D. Relate and organize things and ideas. And for 149, which is not a characteristic of authentic assessment. A. Focus on lifelike meaning, relevant types of student learning. B. Offers opportunities to study problem intensively. Or letter C. Easy to complete. To complete. Letter D. Fruitful in terms of genuine learning. So the answer here is easy to complete. It's not a characteristic of authentic assessment. And for item 150, studies reveal that no matter how teachers reshape students according to value standards, still when they go back home, they will live with the values and set at home. What's the implication with finding and what recommendation can be drawn? So A, the home remains of the foundation of child's values. Therefore, school should strengthen its values education program involving parents and empower teachers to be models of positive values. B. Uprooted from their homes, the generation of the students today is difficult to redirect as they live with their own beliefs. As such, they have to be oriented and trained in proper values all the time. Letter C. School fails in making students have what they need to fully imbibe. Therefore, schools should strengthen curriculum in values education. Letter D. Due to the non-prioritization of values education, the curriculum, students are misled by set their own beliefs or that they witness and imbibe at home. Thus, the Fed should review the curriculum and add more hours in the units. So the correct answer is letter A, because the act of forming insight involves because studies reveals the home remains the foundation of child's values. Therefore, schools should strengthen its values education program involving parents and empower teachers to be models of positive values. So that ends with our discussion.